Hey guys, I'm Danielle Alvari, and this is FOURSUPdate. Today, we're talking starters in a segment I like to call the shallow chart. That's right, no need for water wings. We are staying far away from the deep end of this depth chart because, frankly, everyone knows that depth charts are kind of a scam. And at the end of the day, Coach Kelly's just gonna run packages that create the kind of mismatches that you normally only see in a toddler's wardrobe. So, yeah. So, let's just skim the surface, shall we? Starting from the top with the offense, quarterback, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, true sophomore, started 7 games last year, played in 10, threw for over 1,300 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. Now personally, I think DTR has shown a lot of growth in the past year, not just physically, but mentally and as a leader. You can tell that he's more comfortable on the field, filling that leadership role in front of the media, and the team has completely bought into him as their leader, which is what he needs if he's going to lead this young Bruins team. Next up at tight end, it looks like Jordan Wilson has edged out Devin Asiasi in the depth chart that UCLA released, but as we all know, Coach Kelly loves to use multiple tight ends, so don't let your end get all uptight over that. Next up at running back, Joshua Kelly, of course, who else? First team All Pac-12 last season, rocking a knee brace right now after an early camp injury, but looks more than ready to go and tear up his redshirt senior season. With help, of course, from an amazing offensive line. At center, Boss Tagaloa, who made the smoothest switch to center you've ever seen. And after the switch, the team's rushing offense improved by over 40 yards per game compared to the previous season. Then moving right along to left tackle, kind of an important position, you're gonna see a true freshman in Sean Ryan. He was one of the top-ranked offensive tackles in the nation. Needless to say, expectations are high. But he is a freshman. It's his first season playing college football, so we'll see how he does. Next up, left guard, Michael Alves, redshirt junior, returning starter, smart guy, the kind of guy you want on your offensive line. He's been on the AD's academic honor roll 3 times. Next up, right guard, Chris Murray, sophomore. Last season, he was the first Bruin true freshman to start a season opener at center since at least 1982. And I say at least because apparently no one was paying attention to that before then. Anyways, after 3 games, he switched to guard. And rounding out the offensive line at right tackle, we have Jake Burton, redshirt junior, returning starter, big-time leader for this offensive line. He has plenty of games under his belt, plenty of experience, which is something that most of the guys on this team can't really say. And finally, finishing off our offense with our wide receivers. Now, JAYLEN ERWIN, junior college transfer, was listed ahead of senior Theo Howard. Last season, Howard received all Pac-12 honorable mention, but right now he's dealing with a wrist, hand injury, and just hasn't gotten as many practice reps as JAYLEN ERWIN. That said, Coach Kelly did say at practice that he's confident that Theo will bounce back, but that if he had to decide today, right now, JAYLEN has more practice reps and that's who would be starting. And also, he's wicked fast. Also at wide receiver, we have sophomore Chase Cota, who got his first start last season against USC. And finally, DEMETRIC FELTON, who could just as easily fit in at a running back position. Never know. Now let's switch sides to the defense. Now, I actually think that this part should be called the dense chart because we have a heavy front 7, like NFL heavy front 7. At defensive tackle, we have Otito Ogbonya at 330 pounds. Then at nose tackle, we have Antonio Mafi, who's down to 360 pounds. And I say down to because the guy lost 51 pounds, which, like, hooray, yay, I don't really care, but I do care about body composition, and this guy looks great. So between Otito and Antonio, we have 700 pounds. Yeah, good luck getting through the middle of that. At defensive end, we have senior Oso Digazua at 280 pounds. Now, last season, this team's pass rush was abysmal. They only had 15 sacks, and only 4 of those sacks came from the line. But of those 4 sacks, 3 of them belong to Osa. At outside linebacker, we have redshirt senior Josh Woods, who sat out all of last season due to injury. So you can bet that he is ready to come back with a vengeance. Also at outside linebacker, we have Elijah Wade, sophomore, 280 pounds. He was actually a defensive end that they've kind of converted into a linebacker. At inside linebacker, we have Lokeni Toiloa, senior, 255 pounds, and man, is this guy versatile. Inside linebacker, outside linebacker, special teams, you name it, Lokeni can do it. And then of course, Chris Barnes, 235 pounds, the one returning functional starting linebacker from last season. He had double-digit tackles in 2 games and was second on the team in tackles and tackles for loss. At cornerback, starting with our senior, Darnay Holmes, a returning starter. Monday at practice, he was going through the warm-up, but he wasn't doing all of the drills, so might be an injury there. That said, he is still listed #1 on the depth chart, so we are expecting to see him on the field balling out. Last season, 3 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles. Also at cornerback, redshirt sophomore Elijah Gates, returning starter. He started 6 of the final 6 games last season. And finally, our safeties, Quentin Lake, junior, returning starter, 3rd on the team in tackles last season. Last but certainly not least, Stephen Blaylock, sophomore, finally moved his way up to a starting position after plenty of experience on the field last year and an impressive fall camp. Now look, depth charts, shallow charts aside, this is a young team. According to Took Knee Win from the LA Daily News, this team has the highest percentage of freshmen and redshirt freshmen in the country. In fact, 14 out of the 22 players on the offensive depth chart are freshmen and sophomores, and only 2 are seniors. On the defensive side, it's 4 seniors and 10 freshmen and sophomores. And now, after a little over a year of time under the leadership of head coach Chip Kelly, it's time for this UCLA team to sink or swim. Thanks so much for watching Fours Update. I'm your host, Danielle Alvari. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, depth charts are like weekend plans. They make it look like you're going to do something, but really, you're probably not.